Hello, everybody. Welcome into Talking Fitchburg on this Tuesday, June 22nd, 2021. I'm Jeremy Crosby. Hope you had a wonderful day. Glad you're tuning in with us here for another edition of Talking Fitchburg in the TF studios. Love to be back here when I can. And we will enjoy another great show here. Andrew has the week off, enjoying some vacation in the Sunshine State. We'll talk to him when he returns. And we've got a lot to talk about here on Talking Fitchburg. We'll talk about last night's concerts, actually take you out to the concerts. It was a nice night in the park. Well, if you were out there, it's a little breezy at times. Definitely needed a jacket last night, but what a great concert. Linda and the Zeros headlining it, and the youth band, always fun to listen to. We'll break all that down here coming up in just a little bit of time. And also we'll be talking mental health today, too. We'll be picking up on a series that we have been doing with public safety and peer support. We'll continue our conversations with the Milwaukee Fire Department and our own Adam Dorn coming together here today and continuing those discussions here coming up. But first, we do turn to last night's concerts, and it was a great concert at that. And Kloss Financial here sharing some of these nice photos of last night. And we're glad you got to come out. Like I said, a little bit cooler last night, but folks at Kloss Financial here had a great time, and the comments online from Concerts at McKee social media page says, "Thank you, Kloss Financial. What a great show last night. Glad your team could be there." And a lot of you coming out and enjoying. You got to take part not only in the great music and the atmosphere, but you got the local vendors coming in with the food carts. Of course, adult beverages, and just so much more fun. So it was nice to see everybody's face and enjoy some great music. And Linda and the Zeros did a great job. We'll talk more about the upcoming and take you out there here in just a little bit of time in our digest. All right, turn your attention to the police department. Police department still has their feedback going, and they want to hear from you. Here it says, as a professional policing organization, the Fitchburg Police Department is committed to continuous improvement and alignment with contemporary standards when it comes to best practices in an effort to continue delivering those high level of service to our community. We have determined a thorough review of and update of our policy and procedure is a top priority for 2021. A well-developed policy manual provides a set of expectations for the department members and better informs the community we serve. So as part of these policies, here's what they're looking for and how it works. So it says here the process for the policy feedback is as followed. Policies will be posted on the police department's website for a period of 3 weeks. There will be approximately 5 new policies added each week. Community members are encouraged to review the policies and provide feedback through the provided feedback link. The feedback will be reviewed and considered by the Lexipro primary work group. After the 3-week period and feedback is reviewed, the policy will become finalized and in place for the department. More information will be shared throughout the process to provide relevant updates and timelines. To view the policies that are out there, you can head out to the website fitchburgwi.gov, go to police department and the policy feedback area, and you'll see that right as you land on their main page there, and it shows you exactly the links for doing so. If you want to leave any comments on this whole process, you can leave that at policy feedback at fitchburgwi.gov. Sticking with the Fitchburg Police Department, the city is searching for our next police chief. Could it be you? That's right. We're looking for applicants. That deadline is approaching fast. We invite you to view our police chief brochure for background information on the city department as well as the desired qualifications for this position. Head out to the website fitchburgwi.gov or send it out to somebody you know, and could join us and be our next police chief. All right, gather the family for a movie night this Saturday evening. Boys and Girls Club over in Sun Prairie's got a big event coming up here. It says here, gather and come on and watch. They'll be having live action Aladdin and enjoying activities and concessions, an outdoor movie here. All proceeds benefiting the McKenzie Family Boys and Girls Club. So registered today. Boys and Girls Club movie night at givesmart.com. Boys and Girls Club of Dane County does great work, and we want to highlight all of the locations across Dane County helping out families and youth throughout Dane County. What do you do when lightning strikes? Do you know what to do when that happens? Well, I've got some tips here for you, and we'll start when thunder roars, go indoors. That's like the common one there. Move indoors into a building or car with a roof. Avoid using corded phones and electric equipment. Avoid running water. Like, don't jump into the shower when a thunderstorm's coming through. Not a good idea. As if your house is struck, you could be struck by lightning. And you can learn more about thunderstorms and lightning safety all this week on Lightning Awareness Week. That information at the National Weather Service. We'll share the link so you can check it out. All right, finally talking about Fight the Bite. Yeah, I know we haven't had a lot of rain, but we're due up for some, so it's a good chance to talk a little bit about fighting the bite. So first one, standing water provides a perfect spot for mosquitoes to breed. When's the last time you dumped out that water out of that bird feeder or that swimming pool or whatever collects water? You got to clear it regularly. Remove standing water from pots, wheelbarrows, gutters, and more. As if you don't, you'll hear those things buzzing in your ear. Darn mosquitoes. All right, that does it for our headlines. Coming up next, we open up the digest. We'll be talking about and taking you out to last night's concerts at McKee. And that's right after the break here on TF.
We're exercising at the Fitchburg Senior Center. We do aerobics, balance, strength training, posture. We want you to stay healthy and strong and exercise. Keep on being fit.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Honorary Forest Ranger Betty White here, lending a hand to my dear friend Smokey Bear. Because for 75 years, he's only said,
only you can prevent wildfires.
But there's a lot more to say. Like, if you park your car on tall, dry grass, the hot exhaust pipe can start a wildfire. So keep the animals safe, especially the cute shirtless one. Go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. We're in the digest, and today we're going to talk a little bit about concerts at McKee. If you missed last night's first concert, don't worry. There's two more to come here in Fitchburg, and we're so excited to share those with you in just a moment. But in case you did miss out, we're going to give you a little taste of what you missed.
All that night and all the rest swam without looking back. Men of the western pools, silly, silly fools. Not the one for me. Black horse and cherry tree. I just like you, that kind of hot to see you me. Black horse and cherry tree. I just like you, that kind of hot to forsaken me.
Hey!
Woo!
How you doing out there yet?
Give it up for Sharp with that mean solo. Woo!
All right, there you have it. Of course, we recorded the whole event, so we'll be rebroadcasting that here in the next couple of weeks. You can watch for that right here on Fact TV. As far as the next concert goes, we know who that's going to be. We actually know the next couple, so let's take a look here. First, concerts at McKee. The next one in July is set for Monday, July 19th. 6 o'clock, youth band from Madison Youth Foundry will be on. And at 7 o'clock, headliner, and that is the Eddie Butts Band. Yeah, they'll be headlining here. And it says here the Eddie Butts Arts Band delights audiences at festivals, concerts, and other events throughout the Midwest, delivering an exciting blend of R&B, pop, jazz, and so much more. And you can see those dates there and times. We hope you'll join us for the next Monday of July 19th for concerts at McKee. All right, we're going to take a quick break. Coming up next, we open up our guest segment. We're talking about peer support in public safety. That's next right here on Talking Fitchburg.
We're exercising at the Fitchburg Senior Center. We do aerobics, balance, strength training, posture. We want you to stay healthy and strong and exercise. Keep on being fit.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Honorary Forest Ranger Betty White here, lending a hand to my dear friend Smokey Bear. Because for 75 years, he's only said,
Only you can prevent wildfires.
but there's a lot more to say. Like if you park your car on tall, dry grass, the hot exhaust pipe can start a wildfire. So keep the animals safe, especially the cute shirtless one. Go to smokeybear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
Cuando estaba en crianza temporal, nunca sabía cuándo me iba a tener que mudar, así que siempre tenía mi maleta lista. Y un día me adoptaron. Mis nuevos padres me abrieron sus corazones y su hogar. Ellos me cocinan mi desayuno favorito todas las mañanas. Mis padres me llevan a viajes que jamás pensé podría ir. Me dieron un hogar y una mejor excusa para usar esa maleta. Mis padres no son perfectos, pero son perfectos para mí.
Some chores you dread. You do them, but that doesn't mean you're happy about it. Then there's registering with the Selective Service. If you're a young man turning 18, the law says you have to register. It'll keep you eligible for college loans, government jobs, and training, and it only takes 2 minutes, which makes it not only your most important chore, but the easiest. When you turn 18, register at sss.gov or the local post office.
1 in 3 adults has prediabetes. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Yeah, and again, I'm so glad, Brent, that you're sharing these stories, and I think that to me is something big to hear past experiences, share those stories. When I assume you're on the peer support group, and I apologize if you're not, but I assume you're on this. And when you first sit down with somebody and then help them out and see it through, what are some of the comments that some of the people that you've helped come back to say? We've heard that Adam Dorn has reached out to you, and but what do people say after they start talking, from your experience, anyways? Start seeing and using that support, that other person to help them through tough times.
I'm not with our peer support team, but I do advocate for our peer support team, and there are a lot of people across the U.S. that call me that have me talk to people that they work with that are having a difficult time, and whether they should go, to a inpatient facility to get help, like I did. I mean, I went to the IAFF Center of Excellence for 44 days to get my head straight. And so when I'm talking to these other people on the phone, it's, the weight that you feel come off your shoulders when you can finally say what's on your mind without somebody judging you, or without saying, oh, that's crap, or that it's short-lived. For some people, it's not short-lived. What a lot of people really need is just somebody who will sit down, shut off, and let them talk, and just listen, and not judge, and not say it's going to be okay, or, well, maybe if you didn't do this. No, they just want somebody to listen and not say, oh, it's going to be okay, or don't worry about that. They just want somebody that they can vent to, that they know isn't going to go out and start running their lips and telling other people, the problems that they're having. And it's such a weight off that you can get these things out and just to be able to talk about it. And, when I went to the Center of Excellence, the first time that we called it the hot seat, that, you know, you had to sit down in front of everybody, because you had group sessions and individual. So my first big group session where I had to sit down in front and I had to talk about the things that were on my mind and very deep that, you know, I had put on that shelf and tried to ignore. You know, it was the first time in my life that I openly bawled my eyes out while sober, because it felt like such a weight was finally off, because I could see the other people in the room that I was there with, some starting to nod their head like, yep, been there, done that. One starting to cry because they felt like they finally connected with somebody who was feeling the same things that they did, the things that they saw, the things that they went through. So it's just being able to get that off your mind and get that off your shoulders, and not, you know, have somebody saying, oh, suck it up, or, you know, maybe this job isn't for you, because it is. And sometimes it's the people who I found personally that I see, the ones who seem to care the most are the ones that seem to get almost like that compassion fatigue, and the job just starts to finally wear on them and wear on them and wear on them. And those are the ones that the most that I see that really, you know, need that time to sit and talk to somebody.
I appreciate you sharing the stories here, Brent, and talking to us today about this. I think it's such an important topic, and I think it's being talked about more and more, which is a great thing to hear about, and doing so. Adam, from your perspective, turning our attention to the fire department and first responders in Fitchburg. We've talked about the peer support group, but what does that group do to help first responders and beyond for you guys?
Great question, Jeremy. Peer support group here in Fitchburg, it's awesome. We've been able to help some of our own members. I know for a fact that we've gone outside of our department and helped other departments that had that lost a member, such as Sun Prairie with Captain Barr. I know our guys were up there for that. I believe our guys were in Lake Mills for a little while. When I believe it was Captain Truman, correct, Brent?
There was Captain Truman, and then the next year was Captain Dunthunder.
Yeah, so I know we've been out there to help with some different aspects as well, and like Lieutenant Jones was saying, is that it's being that person that's there to listen, and that is huge. And a lot of times, what I've noticed, it not only affects the people in the firehouse, but it also affects the families. And it's the family is the one that tends to kind of notice, hey, you're doing this more, you're doing that, you're doing this less, or you become much more angry. When I got into the fire service, I didn't think much about it. Didn't think it would ever be there. It was pretty much suck it up, buttercup, as Lieutenant Jones says. And now it's different.
Yeah, I think again, I'm thankful for both of you sitting here and talking about it. It made me think of, first responders being leaders in this front. We already look up to the men and women in public safety, but you guys talking about this because you're dealing with a high end of stress, I think is a really great thing to share with a lot of people who deal with it. And Brent, this past year with COVID, obviously threw on a whole new type of stress because, and I can't even imagine in first responder world. I still think about it every day, and thankful for you folks being out there day in and day out. But there was never a chance that you could get away. There's never a chance, because the minute you walked off of the truck and you walked home, or you got home, there it was in the news, or there it was because you couldn't go out and deal with it. So that level of stress this year, for people is through the roof. And we've heard the horror stories and stuff of people unfortunately taking their lives away. But how do you, how has this past year looked? And have you seen more people reach out at the same time?
Yeah, it's a lot of clinicians are saying that they're seeing more and more first responders, especially since COVID set in, because they're people were stuck at home, and they were like, this really sucks. I can't go anywhere, I can't do anything, and then we're having to go to work, and it was kind of a catch-22, because yeah, we got to go to work, we got to make money, but it was the fact of seeing more people, getting more 911 calls. Because when COVID first started, I mean, our call volume doubled at minimum, just because somebody would get those flu-like symptoms and now they're calling 911, and more than typical. So then going to work and then leaving and coming home and then having to stay home, you didn't have that opportunity to get out and blow off steam and to go hang out with your friends. And it just, I think when it came to the first responder world, it really made things twice as hard, just because you're going on double the amount of calls, you're dealing with more stress, you're dealing with more people who were stuck at home and around family, and the divorce rate, the domestic violence rate, all tripled during 2020 because of constantly being around somebody, constantly being around people. And it's not that you didn't like them, it's just, I mean, I can imagine what my girlfriend, how much she would have disliked me if I was home every single day. Oh my God. Yeah. So I mean, it's not that I condone those types of things, but I get it. So yeah, I think on the first responder world, it did make it more stressful, just because we were seeing more and doing more calls, and yeah, and seeing more violence, just because of the mental toll that COVID took on the general public.
Final comments here, and Brent, we really appreciate your time today. Same with you, Dorn. For somebody who, if you had a final thought to put on this today, somebody who's currently watching this and is like, something related today, something's like, oh my gosh, maybe I should, or they're on the fence, or they're just not sure. What advice would you have for somebody to get started in just talking with that first step to get help, Brent?
I would say, think of it like this. Every time we go on a call, we get done with that call, and however bad it was, we put that call on a shelf, and we say to ourselves, I'm going to deal with this later on. And then the next call comes in, and you're like, wow, that one really sucked. I think I'm going to put that one on the shelf. I don't want to deal with that one just yet, because that was horrific. And then every time you go on a call, or you add in home life and family life, because a lot of people seem to forget that we're human too, and that we have families and we have stressors outside of the job. At some point, that shelf is going to break. It's only going to hold so much. So deal with those things now. Find somebody to talk to. Find a clinician to get together with, a peer support member, even a friend, family member, whoever it is, to sit down and tell them, look, I'm about to say some things that you may not want to hear, but I need to get this off my chest. These are the things that have really been bugging me, work things. Find somebody who will listen, and then get it all out. And if you break down and cry, So what? Welcome to being human. We're all human. We all have a heart. We all have feelings. So it's okay to not be okay. But it's also not okay to deal with it by ending your life, because that only will affect your family more than what's going on with you right now. So sit down with somebody. Call me. I don't care. We'll get you connected with somebody, but talk about it. Get it out. Don't think that you have to deal with this stuff alone. There's people out there that will listen, that can help, that have been there and made it through to that other side to be happy again. And I guess the final thing that I'll say is, what's your sanity worth? Be happy. Life is short enough as it is to constantly be angry or sad or depressed. God, just think about what's your family life and your sanity worth.
Awesome. Brent, great advice, and I truly appreciate the conversation. Adam as well, thank you so much for setting this up. Brent, you have an open invitation to come back on our show anytime. We would love to have you back out and keep talking about this and experiences you've had in this, in your career in general. So Brent, thank you so much for the time, and love to keep going, but we'll pick it up down the road, and you stay safe out there. Okay.
Will do. Thank you very much for the invite. I appreciate you guys talking about this.
Thank you, Brent.
Thank you both, and we'll look forward to having Brent back on the show, and of course Dorn as well. We'll take a quick break. More to come. You're watching Talking Fitchburg.
We're exercising at the Fitchburg Senior Center. We do aerobics, balance, strength training, posture. We want you to stay healthy and strong and exercise. Keep on being fit.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Honorary Forest Ranger Betty White here, lending a hand to my dear friend Smokey Bear. Because for 75 years, he's only said,
only you can prevent wildfires.
But there's a lot more to say. Like if you park your car on tall, dry grass, the hot exhaust pipe can start a wildfire. So keep the animals safe, especially the cute shirtless one. Go to smokeybear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
Cuando estaba en crianza temporal, nunca sabía cuándo me iba a tener que mudar, así que siempre tenía mi maleta lista. Y un día me adoptaron. Mis nuevos padres me abrieron sus corazones y su hogar. Ellos me cocinan mi desayuno favorito todas las mañanas. Mis padres me llevan a viajes que jamás pensé podría ir. Me dieron un hogar y una mejor excusa para usar esa maleta. Mis padres no son perfectos, pero son perfectos para mí.
Some chores you dread. You do them, but that doesn't mean you're happy about it. Then there's registering with the Selective Service. If you're a young man turning 18, the law says you have to register. It'll keep you eligible for college loans, government jobs, and training, and it only takes 2 minutes, which makes it not only your most important chore, but the easiest. When you turn 18, register at sss.gov or the local post office.
1 in 3 adults has prediabetes. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
All right, we're wrapping up the show for the day. I want to thank all of our guests for joining us here for, again, Talking Fitchburg. We appreciate their time. We'll get all these videos posted online so you can check it out later. And as far as staying connected with Fact TV, there it is. Join us online at Facebook, YouTube, and, of course, now on Amazon Fire TV. Have a great day, everybody.